So I've decided to do a low by February, but as I was sitting down to write out my acceptable purchases and my non-acceptable purchases, I realized something interesting. Hi there, my name's Mariana. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. So the reason that I decided to do a no buy February is once the silly season was over and I'm back at work and I've settled back into a routine, I thought it would be a good time as I felt that it would increase my ability to succeed at a low buy month. You may feel the same, that you want to do a no buy February because you're back at work, you've settled back into your own routine, kids may be back at school, so it may make that a little bit easier for you. And so the reason that I chose to do low buy as opposed to no buy is, again, because I wanted to increase my ability to achieve that. And I also know myself, if I restrict myself too much, I'll end up just blowing out and doing silly things. And the urge to shop will be so strong. Whereas if I do a low buy month and know that there are acceptable items that I can purchase, I think the month will pass quickly and I won't be too bothered by it. So the difference between the no buy and low buy is the no buy is basically all you're paying for is your bills and all your essentials only. So basically keeping the lights on. Whereas a low buy, you pay your bills, keep the lights on, but you can make some rules about things that are acceptable purchases. So if you're choosing to do a low buy month, or a no buy month, the first thing you need to do is establish your why. My why for doing a low buy month is to heal my relationship with money, stop impulse purchasing, reduce overconsumption, wasteful spending, and healing my money mindset. Now, your reasons may be completely different, and they should be, because if it's not personal to you, then you're not going to succeed at doing a no buy or a low buy month. So firstly, that's what you need to establish. Now, for me, the interesting thing that I worked out when I was sitting down to write down the rules for my low buy month was this. I did post two videos, one at the end of last year and one at the beginning of this year, about things that I won't be buying in 2025. I realized that when I did sit down to write the rules, that there wasn't a lot that I could actually continue to eliminate because I had made the decision early on about things that I wasn't going to be purchasing this year. These are some of the things that I had included in my list of items that I wouldn't be purchasing in 2025. So my list of not allowable items isn't actually very long at all because I had already eliminated all those things. So you can watch those videos here about the things that I eliminated for 2025. So my non-allowable items includes no clothing, no shoes, and no accessories, no beauty items unless I've completely depleted what I use on an everyday basis. So for example, I use one foundation. If I were to run out of that, then I'm able to repurchase it. But I'm only allowed to repurchase the same thing. So I'm not allowed to go out and try something new. It has to be replacing what's run out. As an example, like I can't just go and change it because some new viral product has been recommended all over TikTok. I'm not allowed to do that. I can only replace what I currently use. So that's pretty much it because I already eliminated all the other things that I was spending my money on. Clothing can be a little bit more difficult for me. I always feel justified because, I work in an office or I need more casual wear. I don't have enough gym gear and that's all rubbish. I've got enough of all of those things. I have enough shoes. I don't need to buy anything. Some of the things on my allowable list include my supplements, but again, like cosmetics, if I'm only allowed to replace what I've run out of, and again, I'm not allowed to try anything new because, health is important, of course. Any medications, goes without saying, of course they're allowable. And the other thing, and I know you're going to come at me for this one because it is a stupid thing to be spending money on, coffee. But I will explain why. So I have reduced buying a coffee every day to a couple of times a week, which of course does save me money because coffees are expensive. But I do purchase coffees a couple of times a week, generally on a Tuesday morning, because on a Tuesday, when I'm working out of my office, I like to get into the city an hour or an hour and a half earlier. I like to purchase my coffee. I like to go and sit somewhere quiet, and I like to do a bit of brain dumping, a bit of journaling, a bit of reading outside of the distraction of my home. That for me is still allowable, because to me, that is doing those activities is a little bit of self-care, and it's something that I've come to really look forward to every week. So I'm not eliminating that because I enjoy it. And why shouldn't I do things that I enjoy? And if that's the cost of a cup of coffee or 2 cups of coffee a week, then I'm going to do it and suffer the consequences. Another rule that I'm implementing for my low buy February is grocery shopping. I really struggle with grocery shopping. It's not that, don't go shopping when you're hungry. That's not the issue that I have. The issue that I have is I do meal prep and I do meal plan and I do all that good stuff, but quite often I don't write a list. Or if I do write a list, I forget it at home. So from now on, I will be sitting down on a Friday night or Friday afternoon, writing out my meal plan for the week, writing out the shopping list and putting it into my notes app in my phone. When I go to Pilates, the supermarket that I like to shop at is across the road. I will be going in with my list, doing my shopping. I do like to get my meat and seafood from either the fishmonger, the butcher, and fruit and veg. I like to go to a fruit and veg shop or to the markets because I find everything is fresher, it tastes better. I do like to buy the best quality of food that I can afford, and that's fine. But what I was finding is I'd forget stuff. So I would duck back into the supermarket and then I'd pick up other random stuff as well. So that does cause me to spend more money. It also does increase wastage. I also forget what I've got at home and then end up buying more. It's ridiculous. So from now on, I have to write my list out and get exactly what's on that list, nothing more. And if I forget something for that week, I have to make do without it, because I know if I go back into the supermarket, I'm picking up additional random crap. So I won't be doing that anymore. So that's one of my rules. So hopefully my low buy February does encourage me to really rethink things again. And I think improving finances is just this constant evolving thing, and we're constantly trying to streamline it and improve the way that we do things to save money, because my ultimate goal is to pay my mortgage off by the time I'm 50. So I really have to tighten my belt. I've also got my overseas holiday coming up in June. Thankfully, I have saved the money for that. My flights are already paid for. So it's just some random bits and pieces that I need to pick up before I go. I'm not paying for anything on a credit card. I have saved the money to do that. And I think having something really big and exciting to look forward to has really increased the incentive for me to be careful about how I'm spending the money. So hopefully you've now established your why and you've got a good incentive in place on why you're doing the low buy February. If you do, I'd love to hear what your why is. Please drop me a comment. If you've done a no buy or low buy before and have been successful, I'd love to hear from you also. Or if you have intended to do one and it didn't go so well. A couple of tips to help you be more successful in your no buy or low buy challenge. Firstly, remove yourself from all email notifications from stores that you love. That's one of the things that I have done, because I was getting 2 or 3 emails per store every day for sales that they had on, for just random notifications. It was clogging up my emails. So in the end, I just unsubscribed from all those notifications. The other thing that you can do, and I have also done this, is remove the auto pay ability on my phone. So if I want to purchase something, I have to physically get up, get my physical card out of my wallet, and then input all the details. And giving myself that minute or so to reconsider the purchase is often enough that it's created enough friction for me to stop and really consider, do I actually need that thing? Or why do I want that thing? And if the feeling of purchasing is strong, I will just add it to my wish list and it can sit there. And then at the end of the month, I'll go back and revisit my wish list. So I'm in the process of putting together the wish list for my holidays. But for the month of February, I'm not allowing myself to purchase anything for that trip. So no accessories. I think you can get caught up in all the travel essentials that you need to buy. And that's fine. There are some things on my wish list, and I will be putting everything in there because it's so easy to get caught up in the excitement of purchasing all this new stuff for your trip that's coming up. But I think by not allowing myself to purchase any of these items during February will give me the opportunity to step back and really think about, do I actually need it? Or is it just because people are saying this is what you need? So I'm going to put that on my wish list, come back to it in March. And if there's still things that I feel that I need or that I want, then I'll reconsider purchasing them. So if that's something that you would like me to share, and then you can tell me if some of these travel essentials are really essential or if I should just completely eliminate them. Another thing that I did for the month of February was made sure that all my subscriptions were cancelled. That included Audible. I'd still have a couple of books on there that I haven't actually listened to yet, so I can listen to those. And if I want to sign up again at the end of the month, well, then I'll just go ahead and do that. But I've cancelled every other subscription except for YouTube because I love YouTube and that's what I watch majority of the time. So that can stay. One of the items on my allowable list though is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 Creator Pack, but I have actually already saved my money for that. When I first realized that that's something that I wanted and I did the research on it, I just opened up a high interest savings account and automatically had money dropping in there at payday once a month. And because I'd sold quite a few things in my decluttering process, the money that I got from there, I just also put that into the high interest savings account. And I just really didn't pay that much attention to it. And I went into it a couple of weeks ago and had actually enough money for about 3 cameras. So what I did was I kept the money aside for the DJI Osmo, and the rest of the money I put into my investment account and purchase some shares with that money. I will leave that account active and I will leave the automatic payments into that account, and then it can just grow over time. There might be a couple of more things or accessories that I want to pick up before I go on my overseas holiday. So that can just sit there, but I'm not purchasing that on credit. This was a pre-considered purchase and I actually went to go and purchase it today, but they didn't have any in stock and I wasn't about to go to another store to purchase it. So I'll wait until next week or the week after, which by then it will be February. So like I said, it was a pre-considered purchase, so I'm not too bothered about that. The other thing I've put on my allowable list for this month, being February and being Valentine's Day on the 14th, we actually, as a workplace, have an RDO that day. So I've got the whole day free. And as someone who spends the majority of time when she's not in the office at home, I eat all my meals at home. I am really, really a homebody, and I think that's the joys of being an introvert. But I have decided that on the 14th, I'm going to take myself out for a solo date. My word of the year for the past 2 years has been worldly. And for me, that includes not just travel, but expanding my horizons, expanding my experiences. And I've always wanted to go to the D'Arenberg Cube in McLaren Vale to see the Salvador Dali exhibition. And I had intended to go over the Christmas break, but ran out of time. So I've decided that's what I'm going to do on the 14th of February as my solo date. And the entry fee is about $30. And then I'm going to take myself out to a nice lunch because I never really go out to eat. So I'm allowing myself that on Valentine's Day. So if you're considering doing the low buy or a no buy month, you will find that as well. And I found this from eliminating all these things that I was previously purchasing that I'm not purchasing now, that I do spend a lot less time at the shops. So I do have a lot more time on the weekends and in the evenings when I'm not scrolling around trying to find things to buy. I've got a lot more free time, and that might be a concern for you. If you treated shopping as a hobby and you'd go and spend a Saturday in a shopping mall just browsing around, there are so many other activities, positive activities that you can fill your time with. Here are a few ideas for things that you can be doing instead of going out to the shops or scrolling on your phone looking for things to purchase. Join a local library, start reading the books and ticking those books off your list that you've wanted to read for ages. Find low buy activities in your area that you can do. Go and spend an afternoon at the beach. Take your little picnic lunch and just go and hang out down there on a nice day. I mean, the weather in Australia at the moment is beautiful. Do things like declutter your house. I have found that decluttering my house has also saved me money, because once you start packing up all this stuff and seeing it go out the door, it's really confronting and makes you realize how much money that you have wasted in the past. And it does make you really reconsider future purchases. The other thing that you can do is, when you are decluttering, are there items that you can sell? Take the time and put them up on Facebook Marketplace and get some money back for them. If you've got clothes that you no longer wear, maybe pack them all up and take them to a consignment store and see if you can get a couple of dollars back that way. Learn some new recipes. If you've got a bunch of art projects that you had intended to do, you've got all the stock, but you've never actually sat down to do the thing, then do it. Learn how to knit. There are so many other activities that you can be doing that will push your life forward, as opposed to just spending money on random crap that you don't actually really need. That does clutter up your mind and your home. And that's the other thing I've found during decluttering, that I just feel clearer. My mind feels clearer when I'm not walking into a home filled with clutter. I don't feel so anxious when I come home. And also, by not spending money on random crap, I don't have to have that mental space taken up of buyer's remorse. Anyway, if you're intending to do a low buy February with me, please drop me a comment. I would love to hear from you. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, as it does help to push my videos out to more amazing people like yourselves. So that's it from me for today. Please join me in Low Buy February. And until the next one, I hope you all have a fabulous day. Bye.